Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk a little bit about College Football 25. I was going to make this video sooner, but then I saw I could spend $100 to play College Football 25 3 days early, and that's really all I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Now I recognize that sports games aren't everyone's cup of tea. In fact, if you're a big gamer, you probably don't look at someone who games as much as you do, but on Madden or 2K, and consider them a real gamer. And well, I think you should probably, take a hard look at yourself if you do harbor this sense of elitism from the games you play. I do kind of get it. For instance, I look at Dark Souls and I think, why would anyone play this? Why would you waste your time rolling around away from giant enemies, putting weird restrictions on yourself to make a difficult game more difficult? Why would you play a game that frustrates you to no end? But then I remember, I also play a game every year that frustrates me. Madden. It's frustrating because EA is the only gaming company allowed to make an NFL game due to their licensing deal. It's frustrating because with that exclusivity, the games have removed features over the years from franchise mode, which is my favorite mode, and focus their efforts more on Madden Ultimate Team because that's where you can put microtransactions. It's frustrating because back in the day, there was another football game. And while it was also made by EA, it almost always did things differently, improving on itself and pushing Madden through comparison. That was NCAA football, college football gaming experience that disappeared after NCAA 14, and is finally back now with College Football 25. In this video, I want to explain what happened to the college football game series, why it took so long to get a sequel, and hopefully explain why a bunch of 30-plus-year-old men have suddenly committed all of their free time to College Football 25. In June of 1993, Bill Walsh College Football hit the scene. I know what you're thinking while looking at this gameplay. Gross. But you can't blame them. It was the 90s, and they hadn't discovered just how many polygons you could fit into a game yet. The game ran under this title until they gave Bill the boot and transitioned it to College Football 96, which would change again with NCAA Football 98. That title would stick until NCAA Football 14, when things would take a turn. To fully understand why they stopped making NCAA football video games, you have to talk about basketball, and a man named Ed O'Bannon. O'Bannon was a former basketball player for UCLA, and he was pretty good. He played a few years in the NBA, but more importantly to this story, he was a member of the UCLA team that won the national championship in 1995. EA Sports NCAA Basketball 09 featured historic teams, including that 1995 UCLA team, with likenesses of the players, but without using their real names. So why did EA do that? Well, at the time, student athletes couldn't be compensated for their name, image, and likeness, or NIL. So the college games would feature players, but without their names. It would just be quarterback number 5, which worked great until O'Bannon saw the video game version of himself and realized that he should probably be getting paid for this. So he led a class action lawsuit against EA, the Collegiate Licensing Company, and the NCAA. With all of this going on, EA decided to cut their losses and stop making NCAA football and basketball games.
EA has canceled its plans to publish a college football game next year. EA Sports GM of American Football Cam Weber says, "Today I am sad to announce that we will not be publishing a new college football game next year, and we are evaluating our plan for the future of the franchise. This is as profoundly disappointing to the people who make this game as I expect it will be for the millions who enjoy playing it each year."
Eventually, this lawsuit ended up being about a lot more than just some video games. It challenged the fact that these colleges were making millions off of television contracts, ticket sales, and merchandise that the players didn't see a dime of. Players couldn't even start a YouTube channel under their own name. Seriously, the YouTuber destroying was a kicker at the University of Central Florida, and the NCAA made him choose between running his channel or remaining on the school's team. He ended up choosing his YouTube channel, and considering he has nearly 6 million subscribers, I think it was safe to say that he made the right decision. But it was dumb that he had to choose it all. Fortunately, the courts agreed. This is from a CNBC article covering the case. Quote, "Federal Judge Claudia Wilkins in O'Bannon versus NCAA ruled that the association violated antitrust laws by prohibiting athletes from football bowl subdivision, the roughly 125 schools formerly known as Division 1A, and Division I men's basketball from being compensated for the use of their names, image, and likenesses." Close quote. In July of 2021, college athletes were finally able to profit off of their NIL. This allowed students to make money from their social media accounts, sell autographs, and of course, license their NIL out for use in video games. EA announced that they were going to make a new college football game with a tweet. This tweet has over 200,000 likes, and it was just a huge deal. They offered players $600 and a copy of the game, and over 10,000 players agreed. In the intervening time, NCAA Football 14 became the stuff of legends. As Madden released in worse and worse states each year, NCAA Football 14 remained unchanged. You see, this game came out before Madden Ultimate Team was like the premier game mode. It did have a college Ultimate Team, but the servers were long offline, and it wasn't as intrusive of a mode as it would become later in Madden, taking resources away from the other modes. Players also imagined how good NCAA would be if it were still around today, and how good Madden would be if it was forced to compete with NCAA. YouTubers in the NCAA football niche remained active, creating colleges and pulling in great views for their channels. Fans came together to work on a mod that brought current players into the game with NCAA 14 revamped. When the pandemic first started and people were spending time inside playing games, secondhand copies were selling for hundreds of dollars. College football is just different from the professional version. There are so many more teams, regional rivalries, and states like Alabama that don't have an NFL team really rally around their collegiate team. It's the closest thing that we have to how soccer works in Europe, where the teams are part of places they're from. AT&T Stadium, where the Dallas Cowboys play, can hold 82,500 fans, while Michigan Stadium, better known as the Big House, can seat over 107,000 people. It's just different. So that's why so many people are excited to play College Football 25, including myself. In fact, I'm going to end this video now and get back to my UMass Dynasty rebuild, which you can follow along with by watching our Twitch streams at Wicked Good Everything on Twitch, and WGE was live on TikTok, if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was interesting for people who aren't big fans of college football. And if you are a fan of college football, I hope you enjoyed this video, kind of going into exactly what happened back in the day. And I especially hope that you're enjoying College Football 25 now. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.